All right, so yesterday we worked through the guided practice problems in the book, and now we're going to actually look at some problems out of the homework stuff so that you know exactly what to expect when you're going through and doing those problems on your own for homework, which today you will have plenty of time in class, so you should be able to get it done, but normally you'll probably have to do it at home, or at least some of it at home. So the first problem, say to evaluate the expression. So this is number 4.4 times r when r is equal to 6. So I plug in 6 for r. So 0.4 times 6, and what would that be equal to? $2.4. Let's see, 8. 0.8 plus h when h is equal to 3.7. So I'm going to plug in 3.7 for h. 0.8 plus 3.7. And what is that equal to?
11.7. Oh, is that minus or plus?
It's plus.
Plus.
Yeah.
11.7.
Oh, the.
Right now.
My bad.
It
It is
5.7.
9.5.
5.6. Which one is it?
It's
So
5.6.
you need to make sure that you're lining up the decimals.
4.5.
Yeah, it's 4.5.
Okay. So that when you do it,
No, 'cause I thought
You have your-
I thought that was an 8. I thought that
you have your decimals lined up.
I thought that was a 5, and I thought it was an 8.
He doesn't have his glasses. Bro, bring your glasses.
No, dude, bro, I was playing football and they hit me.
You want me to bring you my glasses?
Okay. Number 10.
Tape
What's happening?
So keep it.
If I take the lens, how am I supposed to see?
Guys, cut the conversation. That's not math. Or I will give you sentences. Or a quiz. Probably a quiz. Because if you're talking, you must think that you know all of this material. Number 10. T over 5 when t is equal to 4.5. So I'm going to plug in 4.5 for t. And I need to solve. Does anybody know how to do that?
Do you divide?
You know how I set it up?
4.5 divided by 5.
So I'm going to do 4.5 underneath and 5 here. But what do I have to do about that decimal point? I need to move it over. So I'm going to move it over here. So then how many times does 5 go into 45?
9.
9. I don't have anything left over. But, yep, I got to move it back. I can't, forget that that is there. So that ends up being 0.9. So 0.9 is my answer. The next one, say to write the power in words as a product. We're not going to, write the power in words and as a product. We're not going to do the in words part because as we're talking about it, you're automatically going to be hearing it. So there's no point in doing that as a question. So number 16 is 12 raised to the 5th power. What does that mean?
12 times 12 times 12 times 12 times 12.
It's 12 times 12 times
Yep.
12.
And you don't actually have to multiply it out. You're just showing what it looks like as a product for these ones. What about y raised to the 6th power?
Y times y times y times y. Y times y
Yep. So that's all you have to do for those ones. If it says to evaluate, which is what the next one say, you do actually need to multiply the stuff through. So for these next few, we're actually going to evaluate. Write that there so we remember what we're doing. So 26, 3 squared is what?
3 times
Which is equal to what?
3, 9.
9.
Yep. And so this intermediate step here, if you want to write it out, that's fine. If you just know that 3 squared is 9, I don't mind you going ahead and going straight to that for the ones that just say evaluate. But that's up to you. How about this one? 28. 1 raised to the 5th power.
1.
1. Good. Thought I was going to trick somebody.
I was about to say 5. I'm glad.
Look, I have kids in pre-cal that do that, so. 32.
She might be trying to trick us now.
2 to the 6th.
2 times 2
64.
3 times 2.
64.
Oh, dude.
Yep, so you can write it out that way if you want.
64.
It is 64.
Not too like old.
So you can just go across. So if you don't just know 2 to the 6th off of your top of your head, did you just know that, or did you actually, were you actually doing?
I know 2 to the 12th power actually.
Oh, well, that's
Everything
impressive.
up to that and that.
I don't know all of that, so that's good. But what I do, especially if I have something that's even bigger than 2, is I'll write it out, or I'll use my hand to count. So I'll be like, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So that way you can just keep going and make sure you're getting them all, since you don't have a calculator to do that with. But if you just know it, again, you can go straight to the answer. That's totally fine on that. How about 1/4 being raised to the 2, so it's being squared.
Half. Oh no.
So when I have a square on a fraction, okay, specifically one that's in a parentheses, what is that telling me that I'm doing?
You have to put the power to both of them.
Yep, the power's going on both, so this is the same thing as 1 squared over 4 squared. 1 squared is 1. What's 4 squared?
16.
16, so that's going to be 1 over 16. Well, if that's so easy, then tell me what this one is.
She hurt you. Yeah. 2 over 3? Oh, okay, that's easy.
Really, you tell the answer. Don't get too comfortable.
This one's his. Nobody else say it.
Now she's
Everyone else can work it, but he's going to be the one to give me the answer.
Oh, come on.
So we.
Oh, but you know asking for
So
help?
easy over you.
That actually wasn't that bad, if I'm being honest.
Why did you do this? You said it.
You said
You said
it.
it's not
Oh, it is 12 over 54.
Nope.
No.
Wow.
All the.
He doesn't have.
Do you want to phone a friend?
No,
He wants to phone a friend. He doesn't want to lose his ego.
no.
Should we poll the class? Have y'all seen Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Did y'all get that reference? Okay.
Me.
You wish.
Why'd you say that? You become a
All right, what's my first step, class?
I quit.
If the power is on the fraction, what do I do?
Oh, you have to.
Add it to
Oh,
both.
you gotta do both.
My ego is
Just
too
do it.
low.
Gonna go on both, so it's gonna be 2 to the 4th over 3 to the 4th. What is 2 to the 4th?
16.
16.
Oh, so it's 16 over 54.
How did you do?
How would you
Bro, you was getting 16 over 8.
3 to the 4th may or may not be something that you just know. Okay, so 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is
27.
27 times 3 is
81.
81.
It's so
So 16 over 81.
Oh, I did 27 plus 27.
Bro.
What?
You wanna go back to first
It's
grade?
Where did you
adding.
get the plus?
You wanna go back
Yeah,
to
that's
first
what I was
grade?
where did you get the plus?
Where did you get the plus? We're multiplying.
Okay.
There's a plus.
Evaluate the expression. So now this is combining the first stuff that we did with what we just did. Okay? So if I have something like 38 x squared when x is equal to 3/4. So I'm going to plug in the 3/4. And since it's a fraction being raised to a power, I put it in parentheses so it's not confusing on what the square goes to. You should get in that habit as well. So what is this?
9/16.
9/16.
Yep, so it's going to be 3 squared over 4 squared, which
Wanna do
is
the next one?
9/16.
Do it in your head.
I can't.
You wanna know what 3 times 3 is?
I do,
And 4 times 4?
I need to write
I think we should play around the world so y'all get good at quick
yes.
math.
Oh,
Wait, yes, but Jonathan is a scorekeeper. Or
Yeah.
What do you mean?
How does that
What
work?
do you mean?
You are not allowed to go around
Exactly.
Your brain is
You-
practically
I know,
a
it's-
cheater.
Yes.
How am I a cheater?
because you have a brain.
Guys, shh.
If we like do our work on a separate sheet of paper, do we need to turn that in with like the paper that we write our answers on?
You should be turning in your work with the answers. Like your paper that you turn in should look like this.
Okay.
I mean, it's not the examples, obviously, whatever you do for homework, but it should look like that. Huh? What'd you say?
Not our notes, our homework.
Oh.
This is a homework example that we are going to have to turn in.
If I feel like people aren't paying attention, I might make you turn your notes in every
No, thank
once in
you.
a while.
Bro, he has
Or do a
writing
notes quiz. But
I write notes.
hey, you're the only class that doesn't have to do notes for like a homework assignment. So
So we're lucky.
Or just pay attention.
Oh, but you're probably going to start
Probably because she's
something.
giving
it's not because they don't pay attention, it's because I do a flipped classroom with them. All right, x plus y when x is equal to 11 and y is equal to 6.4. So now this time they're giving us two variables that we have to plug this stuff in, but it works the same way. So 11 plus 6.4
17.4.
would be 17.4.
Oh.
So just a reminder, if you're doing this and you need to stack it up to add it, if it was bigger numbers or something, then when you do it, you need to make sure that you have the stuff lined up where it is so that you don't do something and get things out of order,
Now that was.
which is what happened on the one up here, I
You
think.
want to do the next one?
That one.
Okay. What number were you on?
Let's have a video for next one. I think it's easy.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Jonathan, don't test that.
All right,
You
42.
can do it. You can.
W minus Z when W equals 9.5 and Z equals 2.8. I want everyone to do that one on their own paper, and then we'll go over in just a second. Don't say it out loud.
He said it out loud.
There's no
He
one
said it
just
out
said-
loud.
That's not.
Do it on your own paper,
Yeah, open
meaning
your-
you're not talking. Nobody should be talking right now but me. Do we have an answer?
6.7.
What'd you get?
The same thing.
What'd you get?
6.7.
6.7.
You already told me what you got.
6.7.
You
She's
guess.
looking at you.
I'm not looking at her, I'm looking at him.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
I mean,
So I guess I need to be taking participation for this.
no.
I didn't.
That's fine.
What'd you get?
I'll pass.
What'd you get?
You're cheating.
Oh, wait, me?
They're conspiring
6.7.
against each other. She took that from us. Yeah, she cheated.
What?
Yeah, you cheated.
You guys are both
Whatever.
genius. I did the work.
Okay. So basically everyone got the same answer, which is good because it's the right answer.
Okay.
All right. Any questions about any of this?
No.
Awesome. Then I'm going to assign you your homework problems.
Why should be like solve the slope of something solve before hunger?
Because we have a ton of time, I'm going to give you a lot today because you need to stay busy. So 3 through 43 odd. Because you have 30 minutes to finish this in class. So you need to be working. I don't mind if you like have a question about something, if you ask somebody for help or whatever, but your conversation shouldn't be about the chipmunks outside or whatever. Okay, there's not actually a chipmunk outside, but I'm just saying if you're doing that, then I'm going to tell you you have to work in silence completely.